the year I was born, but more importantly, Oscar Piastri, number 81. I mean, if I put pressure on, even if I put pressure on my hand, it actually hurts a tiny bit. Yeah.
Raikkonen won the 2007 championship with.
Well, he won his last race in this car, and he won his world championship in this car. We've played Gran Turismo 7. This is the McLaren concept car in the flesh. I mean, look at it. So here we are at the Williams Racing tent. I want to show you guys something kind of special, really, especially if you're a Jacques Villeneuve fan. Any Jacques Villeneuve fans here? Because look at that. Do you recognise that? I mean, that is proper. Oh, whoa, zoomed in too much there. That is proper, sorry. Old school Williams. I mean, look at it. This is the 1997 FW19. Yep. There you go. The Jacques Villeneuve winning. Well, he won his last race in this car, and he won his world championship in this car. And incidentally, this is I doubt this is the exact car, but Michael Schumacher will know this car quite well because he come Jerez, the European Grand Prix, when it was 1 point in it. Had Schumacher finished and Jacques Villeneuve didn't, Schumacher would have been world champion. Sadly, Jacques Villeneuve tried to pass him on the inside, successfully passed him on the inside. Michael Schumacher thought, no, Jacques, that's not happening. You're not going to pass me. And then decided to turn in on him. However, Jacques Villeneuve and the car were made of tougher stuff. And then ultimately won the championship. I mean, check this out. Absolutely stunning. I mean, yeah, the bar pools are kind of like, you know, specially covered. You can zoom in. I mean, 19. This is when I think Formula One car, peak Formula One car, I think 1997. Look, the wider tyres. Yeah, you had the big slicks. It just looks amazing. And this is originally when I got into Formula One as well. So there is the Jacques Villeneuve Williams car. Absolutely stunning, beautiful. I think one of my favourite Williams cars. An awesome livery. However, next door we have something a bit different. Do you recognise it? It is, I believe, this year's Williams. My protein, medium tyres. Yep, keep note, Lando Norris. Medium tyres. Medium. I've got to stop saying that. It's gonna be a dead joke at some point. But this is basically the most recent Williams here, and it looks absolutely. Yeah, once again, it looks stunning. There's the Duracell logo. If any of you seen on YouTube, they're just absolutely obsessed with the Duracell logo bunny at the moment, aren't they? But this is the wonderful Williams car. As you can see, all the sponsors: Alex Albon, Logan Sargent. I think Logan Sargent took. I think he took this car or one very similar around Goodwood recently. But next up, we have even more interesting things. Here we go. Do you recognise this? It is the 1982 Derek Daly, Keke Rosberg Williams. And this is the one that Keke Rosberg won the world championship. He only had one first place, I believe. But he was so consistent. He was so consistent there. He ended up winning the championship anyway, to Keke Rosberg. I mean, yeah, legendary. And as we know, his son, Nico Rosberg, needs no introduction. He also drove a Williams, debuting in 2006. I think it was the Bahrain Grand Prix where Nico Rosberg did the fastest lap. The fastest lap. Yes. But there we go. That is the Keke Rosberg Williams. No front wing, if you notice, whatever, if we can see the fact that there's no front wing there. Interesting stuff. I know. No front wing. Back in the days. So, I think there's a bit of a crowd here, because this is, if the Williams Renault was one of my favourite liveries, this thing here is probably my second favourite. No, second or third. Because let's be honest, the Martini Williams looked extra cool, didn't it? So, but this is the BMW Williams. The BMW, I mean, it's just look up there and see if we can see it. Can you see it there? It looks good. It is nice, isn't it? This is the 2004 FW26 Williams. Stunning. Absolutely. It is a... And interestingly, I do believe, I think it was it 2004 where they had the walrus nose? Because there's no, it was, wasn't it? Yeah. But there's no walrus nose on this, sadly. No walrus, no love for walruses this time. But it is, and what's funny is the minute they got the walrus nose off, the minute they took the walrus nose, the minute they went old school with the normal nose, they ended up sorting out their car. I mean, if you remember, 2004 was very much a very dominant Michael Schumacher season. It really was. Schumacher, absolutely all the way. But here we have the FW26. I'm just going to get in there just for a quick second. Sorry, sir. Sorry. There we go. What an absolutely stunning car. The FW Montoya, you know, the Williams driven by Montoya and Ralph. The last Williams, incidentally, that was driven by both Montoya and Ralph Schumacher. So I'm facing the floor trying to not get too many people in the shot. And we'll speak to you soon. Thank you. Here we are at the WRC stand. So if you don't like F1 but you like time trials, try Rally. I like it. Not very good though on the old computer games, but this is the real thing. This is the Hyundai WRC Rally 1. This is driven by Thierry Neuville, who's currently the rally lead. He's the championship leader. Also drives the rally car is Ott Tanak, another former champion. I mean, look at this. I mean, look at the big. It's like an F1 wing, isn't it? At the back. So as the rally car goes, believe it or not, they go a lot faster than you think, and they need all those aerodynamics to suck the car to the floor. Yes, they're never going to be as fast as Formula 1, but they don't need to be. These cars are eclectic when it comes to what they drive on. As you can see here, I'm imagining these are some kind of like gravelly tyres, but they do gravel, they do tarmac, they do snow, and when I say gravel, there's lots of different types of gravel, trust me. So here's all the people that have been driving it this year. You've got Neuville and Ott Tanak. They are the full-time drivers. Then you've got Sordo, Lappi and Mikkelsen. They're kind of like the part-time drivers, and believe it or not, it was Mr. Lappi in Sweden that ended up winning the WRC event in Sweden, round 2. How amazing is that? So let's talk about rally tyres. 3 completely different types of tyre. No, they're not your like soft intermediate hards you normally get in Formula 1. They are completely different. Now, the most un-tyre-like tyre, let's say here, is this one here, football studs. It actually, I mean, if I put pressure on, even if I put pressure on my hand, it actually hurts a tiny bit. Yeah, I'm a bit of a wimp, I know. But here we go. Now, as these studs, these are the snow tyres. Okay, they're not out very often. You see them in Monte Carlo, Sweden sometimes, and as you can see here, these are the studs that stick into the snow to help with the grip. And if you notice, the tyres, I do believe they're slightly thinner than the normal tyres. The reason why is because you have, I've never been good at physics, but when you've got a smaller space, you've got more pressure, and you have got more pressure that sticks then into the snow, really helping that grip. Yeah? So if you think of pressure, think of like your other half if you've ever stepped on your toe, or on your toes or your foot in a heel. It kind of hurts. It's kind of something like that with each of these studs. But the problem is these studs come out quite easily. So looking after the tyres in a snow event is really important. So these tyres here are the everything tyre. They're very versatile and they're able to deal with quite a variety of different conditions, like from gravel, etc. So you've got these here. Now, if you have a slightly less gravelly surface, for asphalt, for example, dry asphalt, damp asphalt, you go from these tyres to these ones here. They're almost very similar to like a really light intermediate tyre as you have in Formula 1. But it's not just these 3 tyres, you also have soft tyres and hard tyres. And as in rally, you have a selection of tyres you can have before the actual rally, and then you have to use them conservatively over the course of rally. Remember, rally is sometimes Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. It's not just qualifying and a race and a couple of practice sessions. They have an initial shakedown and then it's go. Check out the 1976 Niki Lauda car. Why do you recognise it? Well, let me say the film Rush. Niki Lauda versus James Hunt. This car, maybe not this exact car, but the 1976 Ferrari 312 T2 is iconic. Niki Lauda, Nürburgring, was one of the biggest races in his career. It changed Niki Lauda forever. Why? He had that massive crash. He wanted to try and beat Hunt, and he had that crash. There was a big fire. Everyone thought he was going to die. Luckily, he didn't. He went to hospital. The priest came. The priest gave Niki Lauda the last rites, and he told the police to go away in no uncertain terms. I imagine I'm being a bit more polite than Niki Lauda was. But he struggled, and then he came back in this Ferrari. And let's be fair, James Hunt was scoring all the wins at that point, doing really good results. He came back for the Italian Grand Prix. Now, Ferrari, being the savages that they are at the time, and when I say savages, they'd already had his replacement sorted. But then Niki Lauda came in at the Italian Grand Prix and he beat both Ferraris, I believe. He ended up doing so well. They ended up keeping him on. I mean, could you doubt Niki Lauda? And he may well have actually won the title. Sadly, he didn't. He ended up retiring at Fuji in the rain because he was like, my life is not worth a title. Completely understand. And there we go, James Hunt won. It wasn't that easy for James Hunt though. I think he had a tyre failure towards the end, and he had to do almost 1993 Donington Senna-esque laps to end up getting in a position to win that title. But this is the 1976 Ferrari, made famous by Niki Lauda and the film Rush.
This is the I think that's the 2007 Ferrari. That's the one that Kimi Raikkonen won the 2007 championship with. So you're looking at that is the last Ferrari champion car. That is the last Ferrari champion car. 2000. Can Lewis Hamilton make a difference next year? So this one, it looks like, I don't know. I'm not sure what year that is. It's obviously got, it's got the HP, so it's got this year's livery. It almost looks like the 2014, but I don't want to. I'm not too sure what one that is, if I'm honest. It looks really similar to the other one. Sorry. Excuse me, I'm terribly sorry. No, these guys won't know.
Excuse me, sir. Oh, that's the, what year Ferrari is that one there? The one in the middle?
Sorry?
What year Ferrari is the one in the middle there?
This one?
Are they both the same one?
Yeah.
Oh, what year are they?
2018.
Ah, the 2018.
Oh, okay, so that'll be Sebastian Vettel's one, and that'll be Sebastian Vettel's and Kimi Raikkonen's last Ferrari. So this will be the Ferrari that Kimi Raikkonen's last victory down in Kota in the Circuit of the Americas. I mean, yeah. Oh, brilliant.
Obviously with this year's colours.
And as you can see here, Kimi Raikkonen's car, no halo. I mean, look at that, no halo. We couldn't imagine that these days, could we? Without the halo. Absolutely brilliant. And that is the 499P hybrid powertrain. And this is the winner of the Le Mans 24 hours. I mean, you know, essentially this model's won it twice. 2 years in a row. I mean, brilliant. Ferrari very much are back.
So here we are at McLaren. What we're going to do, we're going to take a look at some of the McLaren cars. Yes, they are Formula One cars. There are Formula One cars. But before we get to that, before we get to the Formula One cars, check out the 750S. Very sexy. And I'll tell you what, one of my favourite things that I noticed on this car is not the shape, it's not how fast it is, it's not how sexy it is, I mean the colour. My favourite thing, but I didn't notice is the fact they've got McLaren brake discs. They actually have the McLaren name on this beautiful gold brake disc. I mean, that's the attention to detail on this 750S. It's absolutely amazing. Bucket seats. My fat bum is not going to get out of that, so I'm going to need some kind of like special stabilizer thing. So let's have a look at the next car then. This is the 750S Spider. This one here, one of my favourites, but not my favourite, is the McLaren P1. This is the McLaren P1. Once again, my favourite bit, the brake disc. Those ones are better though. They're like a bit raised. But anyway, moving on. So this is the McLaren P1, arguably one of the fastest cars McLaren have made. It generates here 903 horsepower from its 3.8 V8 petrol engine. A couple of years ago, that would have been more powerful than a Formula 1 car, potentially. You know, absolutely amazing. They've got, it's a hybrid, but it looks lovely. So let's check a slightly older model, the McLaren F1. The car, not this one exactly though, the car that won Le Mans on its first ever try. Beat that, remember that. I mean, to be fair, the Ferrari's done it, haven't they, with a new Ferrari car. Now, the reason why it won the Le Mans car, I know this is not, is because you see here, it had, what it did, when you see the lights, you can probably see it in Gran Turismo 7, the lights pointed towards the apex of the corner. So when it did get wet, when it was raining and when it was wet, what actually happened was the drivers could actually see the corners better. And it was during the rain that it built up its amazing lead. And that was it. Ergo, McLaren won Le Mans. They also finished, I think, second or third on the podium in 1997 with a slightly, I think it was called the long tail, but it was a slightly longer car. But here is my favourite McLaren. If I was a millionaire, it would be this one I get over all the others. I like the Senna, I like the P1, but it's this one here. I mean, you can even see here the old McLaren logo. There's the old, and it seats 3. So, if you and your wife have got a little sprung, okay, there we go. They don't have the fancy child seat things, watch it, so, but there we go. I mean, this is one you can take to the supermarket if you want a meal deal, because there's no boot space. And welcome back. This is the 1990 McLaren as driven by Ayrton Senna and Gerhard Berger. What's special about this car? Well, it won Ayrton Senna a title at Suzuka. How did it win Ayrton Senna a title at Suzuka? I hear somebody ask. Well, as we know, Suzuka's first corner is very tight, turn 1. And what happened was, you had Ayrton Senna, and Senna was quite upset. Getting pole position, it was moved on the side that would not give you an advantage. Even though he was there going into that first corner, Ayrton Senna, Alain Prost for the title. Suzuka, 2 races still to go. And then, kaboom! Ayrton Senna takes out Alain Prost. We know that because he admitted it a year later. But it was this car, obviously not this exact car, both of them ended up in the gravel. And I remember Murray Walker saying, oh my God, it's happened immediately. And it was really, it was brilliant. But Ayrton Senna, one of Ayrton Senna's championship winning cars. Brilliant. So here we have the McLaren from this year, pretty much. Okay, granted, it might not be the exact replica of the Silverstone one, but when you have a look at it, look at the livery, check it out. It's not a normal livery. Why? Well, this is the McLaren livery that they used for the Monaco Grand Prix to, I don't want to say it's not really celebrate, but to commiserate, but this is the Ayrton Senna livery. As we just saw, the McLaren Senna, this is the colours that they had for the Monaco Grand Prix that both Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri had. And dare I say, I think they had a chance at winning the Monaco Grand Prix. And as you can see here, I keep telling the joke, medium tyres. Lando Norris, take note. Yeah, Silverstone. You could have won Silverstone on the medium tyres, Lando. Why? So, I mean, you can see the thick Pirellis. One of my favourite things about the modern McLarens is on the real thing. They got the Google Chrome, yeah? Sponsored by Google Chrome. Let's have very colourful wheels. Number 4, and on the other side, when we look at the rear thing, as you can see, you've got the wonderful lights that are in the wet, and when they were till out when they're charging. Look at that beautiful exhaust. And up here, you've got the DRS. I mean, it looks so delicate. I'm not going to touch it, obviously, but there's the DRS flap for the go fast when we're behind someone. Something that in 2026, the new Formula 1 rules are going to get rid of. But look at how thick these really thick Pirelli tyres are. I mean, for all that grip, etc. And when you come around the side, quite nicely. They've got obviously number 81, the year I was born, but more importantly, Oscar Piastri, number 81. Oscar, will he win his first race this year? I think he will. I think it was just a question of when Oscar's going to win his first race, not if. But once again, this year's McLaren in the Monaco livery, beautiful. So, what does this mean, the Triple Crown? We've talked about the colours. Winning at Monaco, McLaren. Winning at Le Mans, McLaren obviously. And winning at IndyCar, Indy 500, also McLaren. There's your Triple Crown. As far as I'm aware, they're the only manufacturer to do that. I don't think Lotus have managed that, for example. I don't think they've done Le Mans. They've done Formula 1 and the Indy 500, but they haven't done Le Mans. So they are I mean, think about that. They're the only constructor, they're the only brand to actually do that. Mercedes, no. Ferrari, no. Porsche, no. All the other makes, no. But here we go. At McLaren, it's a yes. Okie dokie. So, we're in Goodwood. Let's have a look at some supercars. Here, we have the Gordon Murray Automotive. Kind of, if you had a McLaren F1 from like 95, 97, this is the car all grown up. I mean, obviously designed by that same person. This is the Gordon Murray McLaren Automotive. Doesn't it look, with the almost the, gull-esque wings, it looks absolutely gorgeous, doesn't it? Look at that. I mean, the tyres all around, big Michelin tyres. You're not going to want to take that over a bumpy road, though, are you? Absolutely not. As an absolutely gorgeous car. Having said that, look how small. I tell you what, I've noticed about so many supercars, kind of like the Formula 1 cars. If we roll back a tiny bit, there we go. We roll back. Look how small the ring mirror is. I mean, that's like the smallest ring mirror in the world. Absolutely shocking. So, we go from one Gordon Murray car to another. If that was the Super Run car, that's the 2024 T50 Niki Lauda XP2. This is last year's, no, it's not a PS4. I mean, it's called a PS4, but you can't play consoles on it. Once again, very, very McLaren-esque, isn't it? Very, very McLaren F1-esque, but it once again looks absolutely gorgeous. All I can say is, well done, Gordon. You've got, I mean, you've got the things up. It looks absolutely stunning. Have a quick look inside, shall we? Here we go. That is it inside. I mean, look at it. It looks amazing. Here's the steering wheel. I mean, just check out those bucket seats. I would not, once again, as I keep saying, I would not be able to get out of those bucket seats anytime soon. Very easily. Shall we? Let's carry on down the supercar paddock. The next Gordon Murray 2024 T53 Mule. Beautiful. I mean, look at it. Nice livery. Oh, it is nice, isn't it? The Henry Mule 3. So let's carry on down the supercar paddock where we have the Zenvo 2021 car. There it is in all its absolute glory. Really, really nice. Absolutely fantastic. Next up, we have, I don't know how you pronounce that. Is it the Rimac 2024 Nevera? It could be. So there we go. There it is. 15th anniversary. Beautiful. 0 to 100. 0 to 100. I mean, let's zoom in on that. Fairly significant, isn't it? 0 to 100 in 1.81 seconds. I mean, wow, that's just upsettingly fast. Very upsettingly fast. Here we have the Bugatti 2024 Mistral. And again, brilliant. I don't think they've got this in Gran Turismo yet. They should have though, shouldn't they? They really, really should have, let's be honest. They absolutely should have. So, coming forward, this is the, I've seen it before, this is the McLaren P1. 1,000 horsepower. I mean, look at it. It is an absolutely gorgeous machine. We can get much closer, you can get up close to it. Also, we have it at the McLaren stand as well. it's just something else, isn't it? For me, oh, and the Union Jack, why not? Why not? Best of British, potentially. Absolutely. So there's the McLaren. Wonderful. As we then go around here. So, how about Zenvo? Zenvo. Let's have a look at that. Let's have a look at the Zenvo, shall we? Here we go. That's nice, isn't it? I mean, look at it. Gorgeous. Oh, yeah, we might even be able to go on the stand. We might be able to go on the stand for this one. I mean, look at it. These cars are so pretty. I mean, look at that. That is absolutely amazing. Let's get a bit closer look, shall we? I mean, look at it. It is, you know, all that work, all the detail. It's got a windscreen wiper. Quite important. Bigger. Having said that, I've mentioned about the wing mirrors, haven't I? I've talked about the wing mirrors. Bigger wing mirrors than Gordon Murray. So hopefully this one you can avoid crashing so much. It has bigger wing mirrors than the Gordon Murray car, which is good. So next up, as we do a tour of the supercar paddock. Here we go. Don't know how to pronounce that, but that is pretty. I mean, to be fair, let's be honest, all these cars are lovely. I'm yet to see an ugly car in the supercar paddock. This is the, I can't even pronounce it. Zinger. I mean, this looks good, doesn't it? Let's get a close up to this one. It looks very, very impressive. And there you go. If you want to look inside one, probably the closest I'll ever get. Oh, look at that. It has a passenger. You can take your other half shopping with it. That's good. I mean, yeah, you know I love my steering wheels. Let's get right in there. I mean, look at it. It looks very nice. There, the pedals. If you like your pedals, there you go. Zoom right in on the pedals there. And look, I mean, I love the fact that it's got a passenger seat, so you can take your other half shopping. Sadly, no boot. So, not great for massive holidays. But I guess you wouldn't. I mean, check out the engine. You wouldn't be buying this though to go on holiday, would you? No, you'd be buying it to have a bit of fun, I imagine. So, let's carry on down the paddock, shall we? Supercars. Absolutely. So this, I mean, they all kind of look very, dare I say it, McLaren-esque, but yeah, it looks pretty. 30 years of this make. McLarens, do you like McLarens? I like McLarens. I love McLarens. And here is a very special McLaren from GT7. It's the McLaren Solus GT. If any of you have played Gran Turismo 7, this is the McLaren concept car in the flesh. I mean, look at it. Mika Hakkinen drove this down. As you can see, it's in the West livery. Well, the Esk West livery. Now, the West livery, that was a 1997 West sponsored McLaren, and they had West with like kind of like a slash through, if you remember. And they got this tobacco sponsorship after Marlboro ended up pulling out and essentially sponsoring Ferrari. And then Ron Dennis did a deal with West, and here we go. It was known as West McLaren Mercedes, and that's the livery we have here. Obviously not the exact livery, because we're not going to have a tobacco sponsorship on a McLaren anymore. You know, tobacco's bad. But, to be fair, it is an absolutely stunning car. It's so stunning, I'm going to have to get in the queue and ask if I can get any closer. I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous. The other thing is, look how close to the ground it is. It is so close to the ground. Now, I'll show you how close it is to the ground in a second. Just gonna come around here. I'm going to show you how close to the ground it is, because I'm going to put my foot under the car, and there really isn't that much space. Look, here we go. So, there's there, and there's my foot. And there's hardly, look, there's really not much space between my foot and the bottom of the car. I mean, it's absolutely insane. So let's be fair, stunning car, really fast. If you want to take it to Sainsbury's, it's not going to last because there's too many potholes. Hopefully one way or another, though, that'll get sorted at some point. But yeah. So I mean, look at it. It's beautiful. It is a wonderful piece of machinery. I mean, look at it. It's amazing. It is an amazing piece of kit. Oh, there's someone trying to get in. I imagine it fits like a glove. Well, it fits like a glove for Mick Hakkinen. There you go. So from the McLaren Solus GT, let's have a look now at the Artura Spider. Now, I think the designer from this, the Spider, has now gone to Lotus. Sadly, it is a really nice looking car. Now, they have left the top off. So it's all good things. Let's have a sneak peek inside, shall we? Can I have a sneak peek inside? There we go. I mean, look at that. There's the steering wheel. It looks absolutely beautiful. And for the rude people amongst you, if you want to see the rear of the car, here it is, McLaren Artura. There we go. Now, it's designed. When you look at the design, it's designed as such. If you look up, you've got the almost like the Red Bull, the Red Bull shoulders you've got here. Now, the reason for that is, I believe, the reason for the shoulders is you don't feel the wind. I don't think you're meant to feel the wind. I don't think. When you're in this car, I've got a feeling that it goes fast, you can have the top down, and the idea they've just started Hakkinen's car, the Solus GT. Listen to that. Wow. Oh no, it's okay, I've got it. Look at that. I've gone deaf, but it was worth it. But I'm deaf, so I'm not going to be able to hear anyone. Apologies if I shout too loud. So this is the McLaren 2024 GTS. And I mean, as I've said before, you can tell it's a McLaren by its shape. It's, I mean, especially from the front, just like you can tell when a Porsche is a Porsche, you can tell that this is a McLaren by the shape. And this is the 2024 GTS. And once again, I've got to zoom in. One of my favourite things about the McLarens is their personalised brake disc. They're so awesome. Look at that. It's absolutely fantastic. But this is the McLaren GTS, which I just wish Gran Turismo would have. They're now revving up, and I think that's going to be a Ford Mustang they've got turned on, which we'll have a look at. This is the 750S from 2023. There we go. 2023 McLaren 750S. An absolutely gorgeous car. I'm loving the orange brake disc as well. I won't zoom in again because they're very similar. Someone's got an iPod charger in there or something. iPod? iPhone. One of the two. One of the two. Here's the rear of the car. Looking absolutely stunning. Let's look all the way around. Oh, it's so nice, isn't it? I mean, look at it. It is really, really nice. The next two, I must say, are going to be even nicer because it's a. Let's look at the Ford Mustang. It clearly wants us to have a look at it. It's making a lot of noise. They probably turned it off now. No, they turned it off. Oh no, they haven't. Now they have. Look at that. There's the Ford Mustang. It is such. Look at that. I mean, I tell you what, the Ford Mustang, it's got a very angry front, hasn't it? In a good way. I wouldn't mess with it. Here we go. I won't go all the way to the back because there's people in the way. So, from the Ford Mustang to my favourite temporary McLaren. Here we go. It's the, you've guessed it, it's the McLaren Senna in the supercar paddock here in Goodwood. Looks absolutely stunning. I'm gonna most certainly be doing a walk around of this baby because it looks lovely. I mean, look at that. There's the wing. The wing does move up and down a bit, but the McLaren P1 wing moves more, I found out. I mean, look at that. Oh, he's opened it up as well. Look at that. He's getting in. I imagine that's quite the tight fit. Oh, I sat in the McLaren Senna. Oh, here we go. So an electric Rolls Royce going by. Don't see that often, do you? Look at it. I love the whistle. I'm loving the whistle. But that is the McLaren Senna. It's an absolute beautiful piece of machinery. Next up, we have the McLaren P1 from 2017. The Senna's from 2018. The McLaren P1 is a year earlier than the Senna. Now, I asked one of the McLaren guys, what's faster, the P1 or the Senna? And they basically said the P1's got loads of power. So, for example, around Silverstone, down the straights, it would be super powerful. However, the McLaren Senna is going to be a lot faster in the corners, and Silverstone does have some very fast corners. So, what he said was he's not sure. He sat on the fence and got splinters. To be fair, I mean, what an excellent political answer that I'm not even going to argue with. I thought that was brilliant. I thought, what an answer. So we've gone from McLaren here to McMurty. This is a nice looking car. He's just moving the whole seat as you do. So, this is an interesting name, Yang Wang. But it is a nice look. I mean, let's be fair. In this paddock, there's not an ugly car at all, is there? Let's be fair. There's not an ugly car. It's charging at the moment. All electric powertrain, 1,300 max horsepower, 2 to 36, 0 to 62 in 2.36 seconds. That'll upset your nan, I'd imagine. Now they've got the door open on the other side, so let's have a look inside, shall we? Let's have a look inside the quite beautiful Yang 2024 U9. Let's have a look all around it. Hi. And that's inside the car. It's amazing. Look at it. It's so. I mean, the steering. I imagine you can probably steer this with your finger, like your little finger. It's so sensitive. But yes, and it's 99% charge. So that's good. That's always good. Here's the electric Rolls Royce, I believe. Yeah. I mean, if you want a proof, there's the double R Rolls Royce, and it looks. I mean, the door. Look at that. I mean, the way the door comes out, it's like the opposite of what it normally does, and it looks. I mean, it still has the new car smell. New car smell confirmed, which is lovely. So we've got what we're doing now is, I don't know how many of them are, but we're going to pop down towards the Lotus paddock. There's Lotus and a lot of big cars here. So. Supercar run. The 2020 visa is not there, but I think this is the 2024 one, and that's one of the supercars leaving or coming back. Tag and okay. There they go. The Pagini. Wonderful. Here's the Lotus though. One of the newest Lotus. And it looks absolutely stunning. I mean, look at that. Here's the guy getting in. He's going to be starting the car soon. They're rolling it. I'm gonna jump back. Do not want to get run over by a Lotus. If I can help it.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, that's true. There's worse cars to get run over by.
Exactly.
There we go. It's using its electric, I imagine. There's the Aston Martin as well in the background. I mean, all these supercars are going. There's a 2024 Ferrari Roma Spider, of all ones. So, we've seen champions. We've seen championship winning cars. We've seen supercars that maybe one day will win a championship. But here, from Goodwood and in the McLaren VIP Centre, I'll speak to you soon. Thank you very much. Oh, nice.
You should know that by being a racing driver, you are under risks all the time. And by being a racing driver means you are racing with other people. And if you no longer go for a gap that exists, you're no longer a racing driver. Because we are competing. We are competing to win. And the main motivation to all of us is to compete for a victory. It's not to come third,